This is Yeah, the Detective, and tonight we are covering a case that is still unfolding. An elderly woman, a quiet neighborhood, a doorbell camera, and a masked figure in the dark. At 84 years old, Nancy Guthrie was not someone who simply disappeared. She lived a quiet life in Tucson, Arizona. She required medication. She had limited mobility. She was not someone who would vanish voluntarily. But in the early hours of February 1st, everything changed. And what investigators found inside her home has turned this from a missing persons case into something far darker. Let's break this down from the beginning. The timeline: Nancy was last known to be inside her Tucson home late in the evening. There were no reports of distress earlier in the day, no strange phone calls, no obvious warning signs. But sometime in the early morning hours, something happened. Investigators believe the intrusion occurred between midnight and 3 a.m., and this is where the case takes a disturbing turn. A doorbell camera in the neighborhood captured a masked individual near the property. The figure appears to approach the house. At one point, the individual seems to interfere with or tamper with a camera device. This wasn't random wandering. This was intentional movement, measured, purposeful. When authorities later entered the residence, they discovered signs of a struggle, and then the most alarming detail: blood. Blood stains inside the home. Forensic testing confirmed the blood belonged to Nancy. There were no signs she had left voluntarily. No packed bags, no prepared travel, no indication of planned departure. Instead, investigators began treating this as a suspected abduction. Now pause here. An 84-year-old woman, limited mobility, taken from her own home.
We just got that timeline. So much is being made of, is one of the family a suspect? And we heard the sheriff today state, we don't have a suspect, we don't have a person of interest, yet everyone is under suspicion. That's what they always say, everybody is under suspicion. But what would it take, Bethany Marshall, for family members to sit with her that evening, be with her, and pretend nothing was going to happen, all the while plotting and planning her kidnapping, faking it? Did you see Savannah Guthrie, Sister Annie, and Brother Cameron? They did not look like any of them were faking it. I know Savannah, she's not faking it.
This is not opportunistic crime. This suggests planning, which raises the first major question: was Nancy targeted? The masked figure. Let's focus on the surveillance footage. The suspect was described as masked and dressed in dark clothing. The figure appears to move with awareness of surveillance. This wasn't someone stumbling around. This was someone who knew cameras existed. The FBI later announced they had developed possible leads, including names and photographs matching the individual seen in the footage. But as of now, no arrest, no public suspect announcement. And that silence is significant, because in cases like this, law enforcement typically moves quickly when they have a solid match, which means either they are building a stronger case before charging, or the suspect is still unidentified. The DNA inside the home, investigators located biological evidence believed to belong to someone other than Nancy. That DNA does not match anyone in current criminal databases. That means one of two things. The suspect has never been arrested before, or the DNA sample is partial and not yet conclusive. Both possibilities are troubling, because if the individual has no criminal history, that suggests someone who blended into society, someone who may have known her. The public pressure. This case gained immediate national attention for one reason. Nancy is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of the Today Show. Media coverage intensified almost immediately. Reward money quickly rose above $200,000. Federal resources were deployed. The FBI joined the investigation. Search efforts expanded, helicopters, ground teams, canvassing, door-to-door interviews, and still nothing. No confirmed sightings, no ransom demand, no communication from the suspect. Silence. And silence in a kidnapping case is often a very bad sign. The neighborhood Tucson is not an isolated mountain town. This was a residential area, which raises another key question. How does someone enter and exit a neighborhood unnoticed? Investigators canvassed for additional surveillance footage, vehicles passing, unfamiliar cars parked, late-night activity. If the suspect used a vehicle, that vehicle has not been publicly identified, which suggests either the vehicle was out of camera range, or it blended in. Both imply planning. Forced entry or familiar access? Reports suggest there were signs of disturbance inside the home, but not widespread destruction. That detail matters, because in violent home invasions we often see chaos. Drawers pulled, furniture overturned, property ransacked. Here the disturbance appears focused, and that suggests the suspect's objective was not theft. It was Nancy. This wasn't burglary, this was personal. Theories. Let's break down the most discussed possibilities. Theory 1. Targeted abduction. If someone specifically wanted Nancy, why? Financial motive? Revenge? Extortion attempt? So far, there has been no ransom demand, which weakens the financial motive theory, but not completely. Some kidnappings are not financially motivated. They can be personal. Theory 2. Random predator. An opportunistic offender targeting a vulnerable elderly woman. But here's the problem. The suspect appears aware of cameras. That suggests reconnaissance. That suggests prior observation. Random offenders rarely conduct surveillance beforehand. Theory 3. Someone she knew statistically. Most violent crimes against elderly victims are committed by someone known to them. Caretakers, acquaintances, service workers, neighbors. But law enforcement has publicly stated that family members have been cleared, which leaves a smaller circle. Did someone have access? Did someone know her routine? Did someone know she would be alone? These are the questions investigators are likely focusing on behind closed doors. The psychological element. There's another detail we cannot ignore. Age. An 84-year-old victim significantly limits the suspect pool psychologically. This crime required physical control, movement, transport. That suggests someone physically capable, and likely younger. It also suggests urgency, because elderly victims are medically vulnerable. If this was an abduction, time is critical, and yet weeks have passed. No confirmed updates, which raises the most chilling possibility. This may not be an active kidnapping anymore. It may already be a recovery operation. What doesn't add up? The lack of digital footprint. No phone pings, no financial transactions, no electronic trail. In modern cases, digital evidence almost always surfaces. The absence of it suggests either the suspect disabled devices quickly, or Nancy was removed before she could access any, which again points to speed and planning. Why this case matters beyond media attention? This case matters because it highlights a terrifying reality. Home is supposed to be the safest place. If someone can enter quietly, leave quietly, and vanish without trace, that challenges the sense of security in every quiet neighborhood in America. And that's why this case has captured national attention. Where it stands now. As of the latest updates, no arrests, DNA still under analysis, reward above $200,000, FBI actively involved. Public tips still being requested, which means the case is active, and active cases can turn quickly. One tip, one match, one mistake, and everything changes. Now I want to leave you with this, the masked figure on camera. That individual walked with confidence. Confidence suggests familiarity. Familiarity suggests proximity. And proximity suggests someone local. If that's true, then someone out there knows exactly what happened that night. They just haven't spoken yet. This is Yeah the Detective. If you believe this was targeted, comment targeted. If you believe it was random, comment random. And if you think investigators are closer than they're letting on, tell me why. Your theory matters. Like this video so it reaches more people. Share it because awareness can break cases. And subscribe to Yeah the Detective for real investigations, real timelines, and real analysis. We don't chase noise. We follow the evidence. I'll see you in the next case.